Oh my god, yeah! We're going to have to start this video with some very exciting news.
We can finally get excited about moving to Portugal because after 11 very long months and lots of ups and downs, we have finally sold our house. Woohoo! Just take a look at this view. We're in one of the most beautiful tropical places in the world. But if you can see inside my head, it's absolute chaos, worrying about our financial plan and what we're going to be doing in Portugal. We're a family of 5 who were due to move to Portugal last year, but we've been travelling instead. It's a dream, right? But there's a massive clock ticking in the background. We are moving to Portugal to start a homestead, a completely new life, and there's one tiny terrifying detail we actually haven't figured out yet. How are we going to pay for it? Today we're taking the kids on a huge bucket list adventure, diving with turtles, but we're also sitting down to finalise our plan. Glamping business, petting zoo, swimming instructor, we have 5 ideas, but we need some help. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, we are a family of 5, 3 kids, 2 slightly panicked parents currently exploring Indonesia before we make our big move to Europe to put down roots in the Portuguese countryside. Right now we're here on Gili Islands. There are no cars allowed on this island, just horses and bikes. The pace of life is very slow and it's incredible. So this trip isn't just a holiday, it's a bridge to our future homestead. It's allowing us to relax, decompress, and also plan out as much as we can for our move to Portugal.
The dream is to live sustainably as possible. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to grow some of our own food, and we can even explore things like having bees or making our own soap, things like that. I'm very curious to learn about all those trades. But at the same time, build a life where we aren't rushing 24/7. So we're almost contradicting ourselves a little bit, is finding the right balance. And I think once we're there, we'll be able to do that. But here's the reality check. Buying a house costs money, buying land costs money. Feeding our kids costs a fortune. So we need to be realistic.
So today has been a mixture of high highs and deep diving, literally and figuratively. When I say deep diving, maybe deep snorkeling. The kids and us are going out on the boat, and we plan to explore the reefs around this island, which look incredible.
But between the fun, we're hosting a very important family meeting. We have come up with 5 ideas that we would like to explore to help us be able to bring financial income. I'm sorry, I got distracted because there was a fish jumping out of the water. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. I wish I'd filmed that to show you. Anyway, you get to see the snorkeling in a minute. So these are 5 things that I think they're at the top of our list, but they're not exclusive. So we're going to break all those 5 down. We're going to talk about pros and cons of each one of them. And we really need your help, because you need to tell us if any of these options is crazy.
Because one of them might be a total disaster. So let's get in the water. Let's make some memories and prioritise them. We can panic about the bank account later. So let's go snorkeling. It's actually pretty nerve-wracking watching your kids strap on an oxygen tank. You spend your life telling them to be careful, and now you're telling them to jump into the middle of the ocean. But that's why we travel. We want them to be brave.
It's rather windy today, so I'm not convinced it's going to be as nice as our first snorkel trip. But let's see. Feels strange, it's very windy, but it feels very calm.
This is our second trip out with these guys. They're a company on the east side of Gili Islands called Swell. They're really good. really, really good. They've taken some really good dive spots, and the guy who's our guide is very good with the camera as well. He can get really deep in the water with a snorkel, and he's taking some incredible footage for us. So we're looking forward to it again. The weather is a bit more overcast, but we're hoping the sun comes out for a little bit. Anyway, let's go.
Oh my god, yeah! Oh my god, how cute! Oh my god, Marie! Oh my god, he's so cute!
Just arrived at our first dive point, and we've seen 2 turtles surfacing already. So we're all very excited to get in the water and see what else there is. Let's go. As soon as you drop below the surface, the world changes. There is something about being underwater that just shuts off the noise. Up on the surface, I'm worrying about visa application, land deeds and monthly budgets. Down here, it's just breathe in and out. Look at that right there. That is the moment, seeing them experience the world, seeing them realise that they are guests in the ocean. That is why we are taking the risk to move to Portugal. We want a life where nature is part of their everyday existence and not just something they see on screens.
Yeah. Woohoo!
How's that? How's that, Dolly?
That was awesome. That was really good. It's just the fact that the turtles are just there on the surface is so awesome, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And then finding those spikes under the water and being able to swim to them as well. Really, really awesome. Really enjoyed that.
So we have a free day today, so we're going to spend some time looking at our options. Number 1, this is the big one. This is the one that we speak about the most, and that's Alojamento Local.
For those who don't know what Alojamento Local is, it's basically a license you need in order to rent anything short term. So even like if you have an Airbnb, you'd have to get this license.
So we are not looking to be property developers or buy a fancy apartment in Lisbon. We want to do something that I'm much more excited about, and that's along the lines of glamping, some quirky, unique place where we can set up a business. So we want to purchase some land with some character, potentially some ruins, some olive trees, somewhere where we can set up some really awesome bell tents or yurts, etc. Obviously, we also need a piece of land where we can all live as a family.
The pros of this Alojamento Local option are very obvious. It's much easier and faster to put up some bell tents than to build a few properties from scratch. And, you know, it just fits in with the ecosystem sort of living style that we're looking for. Also, it's the sort of same vibe as the type of area that we want to move to. And we want to host people that love nature.
People are burnt out. They just want to escape what's currently going on, maybe in their life or in the world. And we want to be able to create that environment where they can wake up to the sound of roosters, but also sleep in real comfort.
But there is a big con to this option, which is the fact that Portugal is tightening the rules around Alojamento Local, especially in big cities. And this is to protect accommodation for the locals, which is great. But it does make us conscious that it might be really hard to obtain that Alojamento Local. Luckily, in the countryside, they're still encouraging it, but rules change very, very fast. The risk is if we buy the land and the rules change and then we can't get that license, or if we buy the land somewhere we can get the license, but then the season is really short. Like Portugal is not like the Gili Islands. We still have a winter. It still rains a lot in the winter, and you can't rent bell tents when it's freezing cold and raining outside.
We'll definitely need wood burners, which may add a little bit of complexity. But we think this idea is definitely one of ours, if not our strongest contender. It allows us to be It allows us to manage it, it allows us to be at home more, and it allows us to be with the kids, and also to be able to meet some really cool travellers along the way.
I'm giving the idea an 8 out of 10 because I think it suits the sort of lifestyle we want. But in terms of stress, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it's going to be quite stressful getting it up and running and getting the correct licenses. We all know that bureaucracy and red tape in Portugal is something that is quite stressful to go through. What do you guys think? Because something we wonder as well is if the glamping market is oversaturated now in Portugal, or is it something fairly new? Obviously, we still need to do that research.
Like the way he sat down. Look at that cat, it's just lying down.
Look at those birds. It's so cute.
The children get so excited every time they see animals, and this is another reason why we can't wait to just be back in Portugal and have our own. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait a few months until we find our property because we're not going to get animals before we have our property. But we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. We're getting there now. We know we want to grow our own food, that's non-negotiable. The vegetables, the chickens, for the eggs, and maybe for the meat, even though the kids don't like that idea. Even a couple of goats and a donkey, who knows? The big question is, can we monetize the farm? Can that generate an income for our family alongside providing food for us? Something that we thought we could do alongside growing a farm for our own benefit was to have a petting zoo. We went to a petting zoo in Hungary and everyone had lots of fun just feeding and petting all the animals, and being able to provide that for other families and other children just sounds idyllic too.
Imagine families coming out from Lisbon or Porto for a long weekend or a week during the holidays. Their children being able to learn, where an egg comes from, get involved in workshops, learn how to make goat's cheese.
And this idea ties in perfectly with the glamping too. So if anyone is coming to stay with us for the glamping, they can get the farm experience included. It's kind of like a package. And we'd imagine anyone wanting to take some time out in a farm would want to be involved with the animals as well.
The issue here is scale and effort. To make money from the surplus food that we have, for instance, eggs and veggies, takes a large amount of production. And in all honesty, as a family of 5, we already eat a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure there would be enough eggs to sell after our family is eaten for breakfast.
So the business idea here isn't about selling food, it's about selling the experience. Workshops that we could run, getting involved in the animals.
So yes, I love this idea because it forces us to have the lifestyle that we want of being in a farm, but at the same time it does create that barrier. It'd be hard to leave the farm when we need to, finding someone to come and look after it.
Currently we're a full-time travelling family, and actually setting up a farm becomes a 365-day-a-year job. And I'm not sure we're ready for such a big commitment, because that is a big contrast to what we're currently doing. While the land and the glamping are long-term plays that take months to build, we need cash flow immediately when we arrive. We can't just eat savings. That brings us to the service-based ideas.
Okay, so first up, swimming lessons. I have the background, I have the qualification, I love being in the water, and I think having a swimming pool in our property is non-negotiable anyway. We'd have to have it for the glamping, and our kids love spending time in the water, so it just makes perfect sense to be able to provide that service, be it to holiday makers, to expats, because I have the language, and for local children too.
It's a low overhead. It just requires your time, insurance, pool maintenance. For us, it's a bit of a no-brainer.
Exactly, it connects us to the community instantly, and then there's your department.
Drone videography and photography, real estate at the moment is really booming in Portugal, and agents do require some really high-end movies on properties that they're trying to sell. We've noticed when we are looking at properties previously, those ones that come accompanied with a video make such a difference to the experience of looking at what your property may look like rather than just photography. And that's something we want to explore because it's very, very few and far between that we've found. And especially for people that are buying from abroad, having that visual makes such a difference to understanding the lay of the land. And when it comes to things like rural plots that come with a big chunk of land, being able to understand how that land is set up from a video visual makes such a difference, and I think that's what we're going to look to try and get across as far as a business plan is concerned. Which leads to the final piece of the puzzle, and that's this, YouTube. So we're documenting this journey not only to share our story as a family, but to grow the channel and with a view to create an income stream, because we would love to be location independent and self-sufficient in that manner.
But we can't bank on YouTube. Things change really fast. Something that is popular today, it's not popular tomorrow. So we need the physical businesses first. We need the glamping, we need the farm, and then we can run YouTube alongside. So if you're watching this, there's something very easy you can do to help us on that matter, and that is to just hit that subscribe button. It's free and it means the world to us. And if you want to help even a little bit more, give us a like, give us a comment, say hello, whatever it is. Any interaction on our videos means that YouTube understands that people are enjoying our video and it helps sending them out to more people. We'd also love to hear from you. Know that you're here with us rather than us just talking to ourselves every week.
This is a balancing act. We're trying to put all of our eggs in multiple different baskets. If we are trying to set up a new glamping pod, then we can't be editing a video. If we are teaching children to swim, for instance, we're not able to tend to the garden.
The sun is setting on another day in this wonderful island. We've had lots of fun, but we've also spent a lot of time trying to plan this Portugal move and what we're going to do financially. It sounds like a lot of work, it sounds exhausting just thinking about it, but I think we will be having fun doing it, and the fact that we're having fun will make it easier. And we just want to provide this sort of lifestyle for the children, so the swimming, the animals, the chickens, the cows, and it doesn't matter how hard we have to work in order to make them happy.
No, and I think we want to make sure that we're in control of it, right? And I think that's one of the main things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, having that control, we don't mind working hard, like you say.
But again, you know, I've asked already, but do let us know your opinion on what we're doing, or if you have any other suggestions, anything you feel that is missing in Portugal that maybe we can work towards. And as usual, if you enjoy the video and are curious to know why we're making this crazy decision, we'll add the link for the video somewhere in here. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, it's all free and it means the world to us. Thank you. Beijinhos.
Ciao, ciao.